at the NFL Scouting Combine with ESPN's John Clayton. John, we've heard from John Lynch. We've heard from Kyle Shanahan. What's the buzz around the league about the new regime in San Francisco?
Well, I mean, it's unique just because now what you have is a first-time coach and a first-time general manager trying to work together. But I think the wise thing is they have time. I mean, they got 6-year contracts. And I think the idea is if expectations can be slow, then they're going to have a chance to meet those expectations and try to build a team gradually. And I like the idea that both are coming out with different ideas and, basically not trying to ask for patience, but really kind of tip off. It's like, just give some time here. We're not going to rush into things.
You did mention that, and Kyle Shanahan said yesterday, yes, we're eager to get a quarterback, and that's the topic of conversation, quarterback, but we're not going to mortgage the future for getting a quarterback now. That's the smart play, though, right?
No question. Because, I mean, it's like, I'm sure everybody wants trade that first pick and then go ahead and get Kirk Cousins, which, I don't know if that trade would ever be consummated, but think about the idea. It's like patience. What would be the patience of Kyle Shanahan if he wants Kirk Cousins? Kirk's a free agent next year. They're not going to put a $35 million franchise tag on him. And if there's a way that he gets to sense Kirk that he can get the right price in San Francisco, he's a San Francisco 49ers. So what do? You take the patient approach. You just get a quarterback to get you by this year, whether it's picking up Jay Cutler, bringing him in for a year, upgrading, getting some better offense with Jay, because you figure Kyle with Jay can get 4,000 yards. That offers some encouragement, but that's the patient approach. I mean, this is not a good year to be looking for a quarterback. The team needs 4 quarterbacks. So now what do? You fill it out for a year and you upgrade the next year, knowing that 2018 is a much better year to be looking for a quarterback. You may have Jimmy Garoppolo, you probably definitely have Kirk Cousins, and you may have a couple college quarterbacks who will be better than this year's crop.
John Lynch, again, so transparent the entire time he's talking to the media, saying they met with Deshaun Kaiser, and they had a great interview, blew the doors off the interview, likes what he sees from Watson, Trubisky, Mahomes. Is that refreshing to you? Is that rare for a GM to be so open?
Well, no, because, it's John Lynch. He's doing the same broadcast that he would be because he loves the game of football and he loves talking about the game of football. And here's his first chance to go in and get the interviews and talk about him. Remember, there's 4 quarterback slots to fill, and so it's not out of the question to take a quarterback, but obviously not with the first pick. That's going to be a Pro Bowl defensive player that's going to be there for a lot of years, and it's going to be needed. And remember, it's a change of schemes, too. This is a 4-3 that's going to be instead of the 3-4, so there's got to be some adjustments there. But no, it's nice if you've got a young quarterback, but also you still got to get a gauge if you're going to be Kyle. What are your chances of getting Kirk next year? And I'd say they're reasonably good.
Everybody's talking about how much cap space this team has. They have the number 2 pick, but they also have about $100 million in cap space to spend now that free agency is about to open. They've already spent some of it, but then on March 9th when free agency opens, John Lynch says, fans, stay awake. What do you make of what's to come in free agency?
Well, you figure, you don't want to overspend because it's a mistake. Because if you overspend, then you're going to come back 2 years later and cut the guy, and that's not necessarily going to help you out. But understand, this is a whole new cycle right now because, not to getting too in-depth on this, the minimum spend is now starting over. So what you want to try to do is accumulate as many good players as you can, particularly in draft choices, because you can carry through. If 89% of the cap money that's spent in cash over the next 4 years, you want to be able to save enough money to get good young players and extend their contracts. You don't want to spend it all now, so you can carry this through. Remember, 6 years, patient approach.
Is there one free agent out there that you see, okay, this guy might be a fit in San Francisco?
I'm kind of wondering, if on the defensive side of a Dante Hightower, because obviously they can go 1 or 2 high-end type of players. You figure at the wide receiver position because that's needed of an upgrade. I don't know if it's Alshon Jeffrey. I don't know if it's Deshaun Jackson. I don't know, but I think it's going to be one of those wide receivers to help upgrade that position. Those are the 2 that I start out with, and then you start to look to see, okay, what's going to be there to fit. Paying the $4 million for Earl Mitchell is a good fit for the type of defense they're going to be putting in because it's very similar to Seattle, and you want that run-stopping defensive tackle. So just kind of filling the box of the new slots.
John, appreciate the time.
Thank you.